What's up, everybody? Today I want to talk about Jamal Murray and his case for being a top 5 to 10 point guard in the NBA right now. He's a very interesting case when ranking the top point guards in the NBA, as he just averaged 26 points, 7 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game on 47% shooting and 39% from 3. However, he had a really good playoff run, and he had a really good playoff run and a regular season a few years ago, but he had 18 months off from a major knee injury, and his play during the regular season of this past year was really solid, but it wasn't maybe top 5 level play. But when he gets to the playoffs, he has seemed to really elevate his game and play a lot better. And his efficiency during the regular season has been really solid, as he shot about 45% from the field and 40% from 3, and those numbers actually went up in the playoffs. He shot 47% in the playoffs from the field and about the same, just under 40% from 3. And in the finals, even though he didn't have a great shooting series, he didn't have a terrible shooting series, but he didn't have a great shooting series either, but he's averaged 10 assists per game, which is a really great number for a guy who's known predominantly as a scoring guard. And when his shot wasn't falling, he was able to distribute the ball at a really high level, especially in NBA Finals against a team that plays a really good zone defense in the Miami Heat. And when I'm comparing him to other top point guards, obviously, I don't think that he's on the same level as Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, or Luka Doncic yet. I think he can get there for sure. He's still young. He's not super old yet. He still has more time to develop and get back from this knee injury. And he's only had one season to really get back. And in that season, he played really well. Luka, Steph, and Dame are my tier 1 of point guards. My order right now is Luka, Steph, then Dame. Those are guys that are like MVP candidates, top tier players year in and year out. The next tier of point guards, which is about 4 through 7 or 8, is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, John Morant, and Kyrie Irving in no particular order. And then I can throw in Jamal Murray and maybe a guy like, well, it used to be kind of Chris Paul, but even now it can be even a Darius Garland or a Trae Young. And in my eyes, Jamal Murray hangs with these guys right now because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a really talented player. He averaged around 30 points a game this past year. And obviously John Morant has a lot of skill, and Kyrie is one of the best ball handlers we've ever seen and a really good scorer. However, I think that Jamal Murray fits in with these guys because Kyrie Irving and Ja obviously have tons of talent, but they have a certain level of off-court drama, whether you agree with them or not. Which affects their availability, and availability is the best skill to have. And then a lack of recent playoff success for either of them. John Morant, I mean, yes, he was hurt. He had games where he was hurt the last couple of seasons, but even when he's healthy, he hasn't played as well in the playoffs. And Kyrie Irving, even with the Nets, with the Celtics, and then with the Mavericks, he missed the playoffs completely, but with Brooklyn and Boston, he hasn't lived up to expectations in the playoffs. So I think that with Jamal Murray elevating his game in the playoffs multiple times in 2020 and now in his championship run, I think that he can fit right in with those guys. And while I may still put them over him, I think that he's definitely in their league and can be ranked alongside with them. And I think that he can fit a top 5 role in this NBA right now. So he's a really talented point guard, and he just has a lot of intangibles that are just, they're maybe not noticeable to the average basketball fan, but when you're really breaking down the game, watch analysts breaking down the game, you can see just how talented he is, and his 2-man game with Nikola Jokic and his vision with guys cutting like Michael Porter Jr. and Bruce Brown is super impressive, especially after having 18 months off of basketball. One guy that I want to compare Jamal Murray to is Trae Young. Trae Young is considered to be a star to a superstar in this league, and I think that he does have talent, but there's 2 reasons that I want to rank Jamal Murray higher than Trae Young going into the next season. Number 1, efficiency. Jamal Murray shoots consistently around 45 to 48% from the field and around 39% from three, both in the playoffs and a regular season. His efficiency is actually raised in the playoffs from the regular season, and this just speaks to how he can come through in clutch moments for the Denver Nuggets. However, Trae Young shoots 43% from the field and 33% from three during the regular season, and those numbers dip down to 40%, and 33% from three in the playoffs, which is around 5 to 6% worse than Murray in both categories. Efficiency is a big part of basketball. You can get your points. You can score 28 points a game, which I think was Trae Young's average during this last season. But if you're doing it on 40% from the field and 33% from three while taking high volume, that's not going to help your team win games. Jamal Murray, when his shot isn't falling, like I said before, he'll dish and dime, right? He'll get his 10 assists per game, and he'll get 18 and 10, which is perfect. This is what Chris Paul made a career out of, right? And then obviously Jamal will have games where he has 35 points. He's had a 30-point triple-double in this playoffs. The reason number two that I want to rank Jamal Murray higher than Trae Young is Trae Young's inability to lead his team to a deep playoff run since 2020-2021. They have been a consistent play-in team since then, and his efficiency has been poor in his playoff appearances since that 2020-2021 playoff run. And Jamal Murray was just the second best player on the team that won the NBA Finals, and there were certain games where Jamal Murray might have been the best player on the floor. So, in all honesty, I don't even think they're in the same league. I would put Trae Young in a tier 3 of NBA point guards right now. I would even put Trae Young below guys like Darius Garland. So hopefully Trae Young can redeem himself next year, but season in and season out recently, he just hasn't been able to prove himself. Anyways, God bless you all. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as I'm going to be trying to post new content more frequently in the upcoming days and weeks. Thank you all.